In this video, we're going to cover one of the most powerful features of Agent CRM, which is the campaigns or workflows. We're going to cover how you can blast a large list or a segment of your list with emails and texts that correspond with a specific type of campaign, for example, a new lead campaign. We want to be able to send these messages on autopilot, almost like casting a net. We're throwing that net out there and seeing what we can scoop up. Yes, we still want to make outbound phone calls, set aside that time for those dialing sessions. Those who call leads will get the best results. Don't forget that. But we also want to take advantage of tools like this so that we can cast a larger net and maybe scoop up some opportunities, whether it's new leads, referrals, or more that we don't know we have in our list. The amount of time that we can save and more. So let's go in here to an actual example of a new lead campaign, and then we'll zoom a little bit further back, and then we'll actually go into launching together inside of a workflow. So let's go back for a second to show where I'm looking. On the left-hand side, you're going to see automations. Automations and workflows, same thing. They're synonymous. Inside of your branding bundle, you'll have a whole bunch of different folders. You can see for Medicare, lead generation, new lead. Some of these are just administrative, like appointments scheduled. It's just what happens when someone books a call, appointment completed. You get the idea. But other ones, like new lead, maybe there's some specific ones per vertical. Maybe Medicare, they have some unique ones like T65 and AEP, OEP. These are campaigns, lead nurture, where you can target a segment, maybe aged leads, maybe even clients, and you can send a mass campaign. So take some time, and you've likely already reviewed the messaging for many of these, but what we're going to go into as an example is referral request. We can go inside and notice the numbering and coloring again. Each one is organized so that you can find your way around. Workflows or automations, campaigns, they have to be triggered by something. And we're going to use this trigger in launching a targeted campaign. Notice that there's multiple triggers. You can use that disposition drop-down that you've seen in other trainings. Sometimes they get triggered automatically if they're working through the system elsewhere. But if we want to have some quick wins, what we can do is just learn and recognize the tags. If the tag is added, it will set off a chain of events. Trigger added. We can move to the stage, update the disposition as well. Spanish check and all that. We're going to send an email. We're going to send a text message. We're going to wait 6 months. We're going to send another email. We're going to send another text message. So let's go back together and we'll show one more example. The new lead campaign. Maybe you've just purchased some leads and you want to make sure that these leads get communication. So we go into the workflow. We're going to look at the 2.0 new lead campaign. And notice again that there is a trigger and it's a tag. Adding the tag sets off all of these actions. Some of these actions are administrative, and then there's the messages themselves. Text, email, wait. Text, email, wait. Imagine dozens of your contacts just getting nurtured and taken care of, giving them a call to action without you having to manually follow up with as many people. You're casting your net. So to launch these campaigns themselves, we're going to go into the contact view. Now, it's important that we're understanding who are we sending to? Do we have a clean list? Do we have an organized list? Do you know who are your clients and leads? The Smart List training will cover more of that in detail. But in this example, I've already done that setup. I know that I've got a client list. So I'm going to look at that list right now. And I've only got, in total, I've got 8 contacts. But I'm trying to get some quick wins. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the tag. Remember, the tag triggers the automation. So adding the tag, we're going to add an action name And this is simply for administrative purposes. So we're just going to send referral requests. And then we can type in or select the actual tag. Most of these are named fairly straightforward. Maybe you remember the numbers. You're going to start to learn and recognize those colors and numbers. Or maybe you simply type in refer, at the top, refer, and there we go, referral request. So we did, I believe, a Medicare referral request. So we're just going to select that one. And we've already chosen all contacts. Notice how they're blue checkbox. You can check or select or add all. We're going to add the tag to all of these contacts. You can check the progress. I usually just hit submit and dismiss. And then we're going to notice any second now, just to validate that we've done this, you should see last activity start, or if you hit reset. Let's go into an actual example here together. All right, notice the tag has been applied. It's behind me here. So that means it's working. And then this is a test account, so I hope that I set it up well enough to show off. But all of a sudden, you're going to start to see last activity right now. There you go. There's one right now starting to fire off. Last activity, and we can see that it's working. Hi, Tammy. Hope you're happy with your Medicare plan. If you know anyone else who could use my help, I'd love a referral. And then an email will come shortly after as well. A great way to test this before you proceed with a larger list is simply adding this tag to your own contact. Create your own contact with your email and your phone number. Try it out on yourself. See how you experience and receive that text message and email. Make sure it's working, and then proceed to do what I just did with a larger list as well. Now, one asterisk or note about this is that you may want to do what's called a drip, especially if you are a newer user. You don't want to send everything at once, because what can happen is you can blow your reputation for A2P. You can get your phone number shut down temporarily. Other sorts of issues like the ramp up period. When you're a new user, you can't send 1,000 text messages all at once. You got to work up the reputation. If that's the case, if you're just trialing or getting used to it, one other way to do this would be to send in, instead of the tag, you can also trigger the automation. And this drip mode here, we're just going to try this one more time. Automation type, workflow, referral request, Medicare. We can do it this way as well. If we're using the add to automation, then this gives us a little bit more control. Send in a drip mode. And this, not just for protecting A2P, you don't want to ruin your phone reputation, or you're warming up your sending. Maybe you just can't handle that much demand. You're blasting a list of warm leads and you're getting too many booked appointments. So you want to drip it in a batch, 50, repeat after every day. So there's ways that you can use and trigger this system, but both with adding the tags or just forcing them into the automation through that trigger automation is a great way to initiate. Again, this is one of the most powerful tools of Agent CRM because of your ability to multiply your impact, send more messages to a larger and segmented list as well. So check out some of the automations, learn what the triggers are, set up those smart lists, and start sending some of those quick win campaigns so that you can optimize your lead flow and make the most of the contacts in your system.